Mr. Yip Hon Weng.
Mr. Deputy Speaker, I thank the member for his question. Second Minister for Trade and Industry, Dr. Tan See Leng, has explained at length in his reply yesterday the safeguards that we intend to put in place to manage the risk of volatility in our energy market. Allow me to broadly recap these measures. First, EMA will introduce a centralized approach to facilitate investments in new generation through a competitive tender to ensure that we continue to have sufficient generation capacity in time to come. Second, EMA will institutionalize some of the emergency measures that we have introduced late last year in the wake of the global energy crisis as permanent features of our market. And these are regulations requiring our gencos to maintain sufficient fuel for power generation and the standby fuel facility to guard against risk of gas supply disruptions. EMA will also be working with industry to explore ways to aggregate gas procurement and to obtain longer-term, more secure contracts. Now, these measures will help to safeguard energy security and enhance the resilience of our natural gas supply. Third, EMA will also enhance the regulatory requirements imposed on electricity retailers to ensure that they are sufficiently prepared and better able to withstand market volatilities. EMA will also look into tightening the eligibility criteria for consumers on wholesale electricity price plans so that only the larger consumers who are better equipped to deal with the risk of price volatilities would be allowed to enter into such plans. Collectively, these measures will bring about a stronger and more secure power system so that residents and consumers can continue to look forward to a stable and reliable supply of electricity for years to come. EMA will be consulting the industry and the public on the details of these proposed changes in due course. We plan to implement these enhancements progressively from the year 2023 onwards.
I thank the MOS for her answer. Now that we have increased government involvement in the electricity market again, how will that affect or curtail the market? And how will MTI and EMA ensure that electricity prices continue to remain affordable to consumers? Thank you.
Mr. Deputy Speaker, I want to thank the member, Mr. Yip Hon Weng, for his two supplementary questions. And I want to assure him that MTI and EMA are very mindful that the enhancement could lead to higher regulatory costs. And to mitigate this, I want to assure him and the House that we will implement the measures in a very calibrated way by balancing the cost burden while ensuring that electricity remains affordable to our consumers, to our household, to our businesses. And how this is being achieved will become clearer when the details of the enhancements are released. Now, in the meanwhile, despite the increased government involvement, I want to assure the member, Mr. Yip Hon Weng, that the electricity market will largely remain liberalized and competitive. Yesterday, Second Minister Dr. Tan See Leng spoke about the guardrails that we are erecting in the power generation, gas supply, and the electricity retail markets. And these guardrails are intended to ensure that our energy market continues to function well, even under volatile conditions. So our recommendations, for example, for a very structured process in the generation segment really will allow EMA to better coordinate the investments in new generation capacity. This is important for two reasons. Number one, to minimize any risk of oversupply for generation companies. And in addition, this will also give them assurance, greater assurance to the Genco to make investments in new capacity. Furthermore, EMA as a provider of the last resort, there will be greater assurance of adequate generation capacity to meet demand. I want to assure the member, Mr. Yip, and also the House that MTI and EMA will continue to review and consider all areas where our market structure can be enhanced to better deliver the outcomes of energy security, energy resilience, energy reliability, and affordability for consumers as well as our businesses.